All right, chat. So we got another banger. Cook takes it too far and wants to fight the customer, or the angry customer. So we gonna see how far can a cook really take it with the customer. I know some customers be like, "Hey, my burger ain't good, man. You gonna have to fix that." But let's see real quick.
Friends, remember, we only use deadly force as a tool of last resort because the process is the punishment otherwise.
That's a fact.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Active Self-Protection. I'm glad you're here for today's evidence-based lesson. Every day, we post a new analysis of a real-life defensive encounter caught on video so that we can make our training and our practice more evidence-based. I'm your host, as always, John Correa. Today's video comes to us from Harlem in New York City. Today's video is brought to us by Mantis. The Mantis family of products is integral to ASP staff's path to black fun. Read the news story I've linked in the description on this, and thank them for sponsoring today's video. If you go read the news story I've linked in the description on this one, you'll see that this guy's come in and got some shrimp for a party for his brother. But the proprietor said he didn't pay for it. So as he tries to walk out, the guy's gonna come and grab him and go, "Man, give me back my shrimp. You didn't pay for those." And that's gonna lead to a fight. So he is then going.
Bro, not gonna lie though, it's just food, bro. It ain't that deep. Like, bruh, let him have the shrimp. He won't come back. But to hold him, what is y'all about to do, bruh? You want him to stay there? I don't know what this man expected out of this.
Going to have a pretty decent brouhaha with this guy here. And you see him, he dropped the shrimp here, and the guy's gonna kind of try to detain him. I don't know if he's trying to detain him for the cops or whatever, but that's gonna lead to them breaking the door and the guy punching him in the face, and then he leaves without his stuff. But a few minutes later, he comes back with his brother, and they wanna have some more beef with these guys, so they're gonna.
Nah, that's tough. He done brought his brother back, bruh. That's the worst thing. When you bring your siblings into it, you know they trying to mess some things up. I don't know why they going this deep on some food.
Gonna come back behind the counter to have some beef and throw some hands with these guys over this issue. Well, you're gonna see our chef all in black here. He's got a knife in his hand, so they're gonna throw a chair at him. The other guy with the blue shirt on, he goes back and grabs another kitchen knife, but he's not gonna show it. He's gonna use it. And he gets after the first guy and stabs him a couple of times. Show it. Other guy with the blue shirt on, he goes back and grabs another.
Nah, watch right here. Dude's tame with that fat ass knife. He said, "Eesh." Nah, that's wild. I'm just saying, not my type of thing, but Cook's taking it this far with the angry customer over some shrimp. Like, let's see how far they go, bro. No way.
Other kitchen knife, but he's not going to show it. He's going to use it.
Oh my God,
he gets after the first guy and stabs him a couple of times. Now you see that other employee's pushing these guys out the door, and they're kind of going while the guy in the blue shirt, he is still getting after these guys. Now watch here, again, the guy in the lighter colored shirt, as he's trying to get away from this guy and get the heck out of there, this guy's going to be like, "Nah, fam." He is going to stab him several more times. Now, the guy there in the light colored shirt, he ended up dying of his injuries later that night. The other guy.
Hold on, which one was the light color?
Fam, he is going to stab him several more times. Now, the guy there in the light colored shirt,
bro,
he ended up dying of his injuries later that night. The other guy stabbed several times. It took a long time to recover. Initially, this clerk was charged with murder for the death of the other guy. Those murder charges have been withdrawn. The prosecutor said that they are still investigating whether they are going to make those charges there. But he is, the clerk is being charged with assault.
All because of a bag of shrimp. They got poked out.
For his actions towards the other guy. The guy who lived is also being charged with assault for his part in this as well. What an absolute mess. You know, I think some people are going to hear that, oh, the murder charge was dropped, but it wasn't dropped with prejudice. He could refile that. The prosecutor can after more investigation, and that process is the punishment. And friends, I think the lessons here are about only using deadly force if we don't have other options because of stuff like this. I don't have all the specifics on whether he did actually pay for this or not, but of course, be a good, sane, sober, moral, prudent person. The victim, the guy who died, his dad said he had money in his Cash App and money in his pocket when he died. So there's no reason that he would have not paid for this. But on the other hand, the other guy probably doesn't have any reason to lie about it. So I don't know what the situation is here. But listen, once he drops that shrimp, let him go. I mean, holding him for the cops, not the world's best idea. Okay, you got your stuff back. Fine, now it's going to get stomped into the ground. And also the guy reaches over and punches him in the face. Of course, that does rise this up from a theft if he is stealing it to a robbery. He's using force in the theft of property. Now it's not, again, a theft. It is a robbery, which is a very different thing. Now, only in Texas can you resist a robbery with deadly force that I'm aware of. Everywhere else, it must be an aggravated robbery or an armed robbery in order to do that. I'd even be careful of doing it in Texas. But recognize here, this was wrong of this guy to get violent in those things. If you got a disagreement, handle it like an adult, right? Maybe even if you got to call the cops, call the cops. But he comes back here with his brother, and now he wants more beef. That's a problem. Now, these guys coming back around here.
Him coming back with his brother, bro, he just got his brother killed. That's stupid. All for some shrimp.
Okay, they want some beef. They want to fight about things. This right here, if you are one of the cooks behind here on the line, this is literally the perfect space for OC spray. This is exactly why we carry OC spray, because you bless these guys with the hot sauce and they go away. They are appropriately seasoned and the fight is over and we don't have any more problems with these guys. They're yipping and chipping at you and saying they're going to kick your butt. I believe you. Bless them with the hot sauce, because the knife was a wrong answer here. It's not justified to use a knife on these guys.
Crazy.
And it's going to cause you to get jammed up, because watch what goes down. Now, these guys are going to come over. They're going to say, hey, man, I want to fight, whatever. And you notice here our chef in black has a knife out. So that makes these guys pick up a chair to kind of fend him off. Now, I think that if I'm giving the most generous interpretation of the chef, he had the knife in hand. I think he actually picked it up instead if you go back a few frames. But it's two of them and one of him, but really it's just a physical fight, guys. This is just, in proportionality, which is one of the principles of justified self-defense, means if it's an ordinary, regular threat, you have to use ordinary force, not lethal force, and a knife is lethal force. So OC spray would be good here, empty-handed skills would be good here. The knife is not a useful.
Not gonna lie, you see how that chair almost knocked his little old ass out? You talking about some physical fight. What you mean physical? Two of them young men, all it takes one good hit to the head, they stumping him out. Like, I think they just both wrong, but
tool here. Second guy, when he comes in, here's what I'm going to ask in this moment. Right now, is there objective, reasonable evidence that a deadly threat exists? That this guy is highly likely causing the death of somebody or putting them in the hospital, causing them permanent disfigurement, something like that? I don't see it.
Yeah, he
so him just racing in and running in like a wrecking ball, apologies to Miley Cyrus, and coming in with a knife, I don't see justification for that here. And remember, it's incumbent upon us as...
Bruh, black on black crime, bruh. Look at him. He's sticking that candy bar in him.
As the defenders, to be the good, sane, sober, moral, prudent person and use the appropriate amount of force. And I get it, these guys are jerks and they're being aggressive and they shouldn't have done what they were doing, but that doesn't mean you can kill them, right? That doesn't mean you can stab them with a knife. That's very serious stuff. I also want you to recognize here, look how long they continue to fight with at least one of them having a mortal knife wound. That this is one of the reasons I don't recommend knives as defensive tools, because they take so long to have a true effect to stop the threat that's in front of you. Now, of course, again, these guys are trying to retreat. At what point here with this other knife stab, now, to have a true effect to stop the threat that's in front of you? Now, of course, again, these guys are trying to retreat. At what point here with this other knife stab, is this a deadly threat? I don't see a deadly threat here. I don't see anything here that rises to that level. So in my opinion, this is not justified use of deadly force. And you notice this guy sat for months with a murder charge over his head. And for right now, the district attorney has said, well, I'm not going to charge him with murder, but he could change his mind at any time, or she could change her mind at any time. And he's still facing other charges. Do you think that he wishes that he had done otherwise? If you go read the news stories, it says that he is just crestfallen at this. The guy's got 4 kids at home and a wife at home. And he's looking over this for the rest of his life, paying hundreds of dollars an hour to his attorney for defending the rest of his life. Be smart. Don't get this kind of stuff on you. Only use the force that you absolutely need to. As for the other guys, don't start none, won't be none, you guys. You know, in some sense, they put the quarter in the jukebox, and unfortunately, they get to dance to the tune. Was it fair what happened to them? No. Was it right? No. Do they somewhat bear responsibility for starting beef? Yes, they escalated this into, you know, a second physical fight that they had no need to do that. They should have called the cops. So they bear some responsibility, but that doesn't mean you should die just because you do something stupid. So this one has a lot of stupid to go around. Let's make sure that we use the force that's appropriate and don't get ourselves jammed up or killed. Let's cover our ASP.
Okay, chat. So, not gonna lie, what y'all think? Y'all think he is in the right to doing all that? Or what? That was wild, though. Not gonna lie to you.